Hello and welcome to this knife review. I hope you can see it. I hope there's enough light, but if there isn't, I'm going to switch the light on in a sec. Really thirsty, but oh, well, obviously that's staged. I mean, it's the best acting in the world. I have here, ladies and gentlemen, the Spyderco Tasman Salt. Has anyone watched Jurassic Park recently? Well, if you've seen that film, you will probably see the part where Dr. Alan Grant has that Velociraptor claw, and he says he slices it here and here and here, and yeah, you get the picture. Anyway, that's what this knife reminds me of. It's incredibly sharp. I've got to be so careful, and I have not purchased this knife. I must say that straight away. No, I haven't had some kind of big deal where people sponsor me or anything like that. It's actually one of my subscribers, one of my friends. He has lent me this knife to do a review on. It's the only knife that he has lent me to do a review on. I think he lent me another knife a while ago. I think it was the Cryo, to show the difference in colour. This is actually the first knife I've ever kind of received where it's well, I can do a review, and it's I don't own the knife. I'm just taking some of the water off for the review. Probably be better. I mean, hey, look, you said you wanted to review, so I thought I'd straight away show one of its best features, and that's its imperviousness to tap water. Well, no, what it is it has this steel called H1. It's probably gone now, but Spyderco do this steel. Well, it's nitrogen based, no carbon in it whatsoever. No, and normally steel has carbon based and all that jazz. Well, this is nitrogen based, so it just won't rust. Well, except for that little number 1. Apparently, that's what I've heard, but that's something to do with the laser. So it's nitrogen based through and through. So no carbon means no rust. It just will not rust whatsoever, even though it's kind of like a type of steel. I'll go straight in with the the specifications. So I'll put the light on, probably works better. Right, where was I? Yeah, the specifications. The overall length of this folding locking knife is 6.8 inches or 17.3 centimetres. The blade length is 2.9 inches or 7.5 centimetres. The length closed, it's about 4 inches, and the cutting edge is 2.5 inches, even though it looks longer. And the weight, it'll only set you back about 57 grams. It's super lightweight, really is. Part of that being the big chunk there that they haven't put steel in, and it's just a light blade. So I showed you one of the best features, which is the H1 steel. Perspective wise, hardness wise, it's similar to VG10. They say that serrations on H1, how sharp this steel is actually sharper than a normal plane edge on VG10. So serrations sharper. However, this and its serration counterpart is sharper than a plain edge H1. I've yet to test those theories and things that are going around, but that should give you some idea. What are the kind of marketing guff and things about this? Well, the blade shape is quite distinctive. It's a hawkbill blade. It's like a curved cutting tool, and they say that that's originated from the marine and commercial fishing industry, because you have to cut nets and cut in line and rope arm's length downward, so it means that you're cutting against the sharpened edge and keeping it from slipping off the tip, so it won't just slip off there. They say that this steel is precipitation hardened steel, so it contains nitrogen instead of carbon, so it basically cannot rust. It's hollow ground blade, So everyone, you know what that means. It's, you know, it's not flat, it's hot. Got to stop doing that. It's flat. It's not flat. This is flat, and that's hollow, where it's ground to a particular part on the knife, usually halfway. So that's what that means. You can get it plain edged. Whoa, don't even go there. Or spider edged, which just means serrations. And the Spyderco serrations are very, very nice. Everybody, you know how to sharpen a knife with serrations. It's a little bit different than if you had, you know, a flat ground with kind of two edges. Normally you sharpen equal amounts, so you do 10 on that side, 10 on the other side on your sharp maker. With serrations, you do the majority on the serrated side, so you do 10. That'll create a little burr on the flat side, and then 1 on the other, just to cut that burr off. That's what Sal Glesser himself it says, and he owns this company. So there we go. Anyway, that just integrated some like learning into my review. This knife is particularly made for cutting performance in around fresh water and salt water. It's got the volcano grip pattern, which is just like what you get on, well, all their other FRNs, except for the bidirectional that you get on an Endura or a Delica. The actual the scales are the FRN with the volcano grip. Again, lightweight, quite hard. It's not really plastic in a way. It's fiberglass reinforced nylon. You can get it in black or marine yellow. If I was going to get one of these, I'd go for the yellow, but it's just personal choice. I think this looks quite aggressive, quite, you know. And also, if you use it in a marine environment, you want it to stand out, a really popping colour like orange, but they don't do it in orange. So yellow works. And it's got a reversible left side, right hand side titanium pocket clip, which is also non-rusting. So the pocket clip's titanium, and you can have it tip up only, I believe, because of the funky way it's done. It is a screw construction, not pin screws. So you've got those screws that you torque key. You can pop them out, no probs. It looks really easy to maintain. You can throw this in the dishwasher, it'd be fine. And the screws themselves are H1 as well. It's got the Spidey hole, so quite easy to deploy like any other Spyderco knife with your thumb, and it's very comfortable. I thought it would be a small knife. Like the Delica, it is, in my opinion, a small knife, but that fits well for the hand, and it actually fits my hand better than the Endura. Not that I'm saying I've got little girly hands or anything like that, because anatomically speaking, the majority of female hands are smaller. It's just an anatomical point out there. It's not sexist at all. Tasman Salt itself, very comfortable in hand, got a good thumb ramp, and not that you need it anyway, because your thumb not really going to go very far anyway. I would have liked something here, like a finger choil. I think it would work well with a finger choil, because then you could really do your fine work with your serrations or whatever, because that to me is going to be that could be a catastrophe, that could, because that is going to just, I won't even go there. But basically that's what that can happen. So deployment is very smooth, very easy. I'm confident in that back lock. You just got to be careful of pushing it in by accident, but because it's got that dent there, you should be fine. Lanyard hole, yeah, it's got a small one. You couldn't put 550 in there though. You'd have to put something a bit thinner. So ergonomics, it's great, very comfortable, and I didn't think it would be. It is an unusual blade shape, like they say, it's hawkbill blade shape. So aesthetics, yeah, it looks the business, doesn't it? I mean, you definitely want to use this for cutting rope, and you can use this in any environment really. Sharpening wise for this knife, it shouldn't be any more difficult than VG10. It might even last a little bit longer, but you know, your mileage may vary. I hate to use that phrase, but it might. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I would, after using this knife and not EDCing it, but obviously just using it, I'm very, very tempted with the H1 steel. Very tempted. I might get something a bit bigger, but the fact that it won't rust means it can, it's quite useful pocket knife, really. He claims that he hasn't sharpened it at all, and yeah, I'll probably believe him. But sharpness wise, you think serration, it's pointless unless you're using rope. Well, I can assure you that a serrated spidey edge is just as effective as one of my Enduras or Delicas or any of my knives. It's just as, you know, super, super sharp. So if you like your knives sharp and you want something that can just mince through rope, this would probably be the best one, and you're not too bothered. I mean, if you live in like a really moist, if you live in a moist climate, really humid, where, you know, probably like Alabama or sorry, Florida even. Yeah, it's quite humid there, isn't it? This would be a very good knife because you could carry it and use it as a work knife, and it just wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't rust. You wouldn't get any rust spots. You know, it's just in a whole different league from other knife manufacturers. So now you're probably wondering, oh, okay, well, how much does one of these cost me? Well, in the US of A, I believe this runs you at about $120. So you're like $100 for a little knife. But you've seen how sharp it is. It's not that small. It's very useful. It's quite a specific knife, really, for specific jobs. But it's great. The serrations will last you longer than a plain edge, so you won't need to sharpen it as often. But yeah, $120. But that's MSRP. I mean, you could probably pick one of these up for about $70, if that. Maybe even cheaper. In the UK, they're running at 65, 70 quid, which is expensive. It is expensive. It is more expensive than a Delica. I'd love to do a versus video, just thinking about that. But you're getting the H1 steel, and you're getting a knife that won't really rust. If you haven't already, I mean, he does make a lot of videos and he does re-upload the same video, but go check out Cutlery Lover's video where he gets a little ladybug salt and he puts it in a jar and he leaves it for months and months. That thing is still kicking at the end of it, and I think that was a very good experiment to test H1 steel, and it worked, and other knives just disintegrated in water after that long, but the H1 survived. So that's a very good testament. So you've had the price, you've had all my thoughts, now you're going to get the size comparison. What have I got on me? Oh yeah, I've got the Spyderco on me, which has got the N690. So it's longer than Spyderco, and the blade shape as well. The Endura, it's shorter than an Endura, and it's actually shorter than a Delica. So there you go. Oh, and a UK PK, probably be shorter than a UK PK. Yeah, it's shorter than a UK PK. So it's quite a small knife, but remember, it's not pointed, so to speak. It's curved. So what you're getting there, you'll probably get there, because there may well be more surface area on that arc. So bear that in mind. It is a small knife, but it doesn't feel that much of a small knife. I do apologise. So that's my review. That's the size comparisons. If you have found this at all helpful, please do comment, rate and subscribe. It really does help me. I've had some thoughts about offering a way to donate to the channel. not to me but to the channel, and it will be you know, even if you put like 50p in there or 50 cents or something like that, I'm going to make everything available so that if you so wish, if you've watched any of my reviews and you found them any, you know, useful, and you've bought one of the products and it saved you money, saved you time, because time is priceless obviously, if that has helped you in any way and you feel all right, well, I wouldn't mind contributing to this guy. I bought the product, but I bought it because he said some good things about it, and he's used it, he's bought it himself, and he's shared that with, you know, for everyone. Obviously that's never been my intention to do it and make money out of it, because I've been doing it for 2 years and I just keep pumping out the videos, keep buying stuff and putting them out. The camera I'm using alone, which I didn't purchase for this, but costs more than, you know, I've ever received in any YouTube money. So if you so wish to do that, and you are a very generous person, then by all means, I'm taking the steps to make that a possibility. If you think that that's rubbish and garbage and you don't want to do it and you just want to stay for the videos, that's cool. I won't bring it up again. I just thought I'd mention that as you're probably watching this knife review. And on a side note, if you did decide to do that, if you are that type of generous person, then, you know, that money, however small it is going to be separate in a completely different account, and it's going to be all used on knives, not axes or anything like that. All going to be knives. So the more you put in, the more knives and knife reviews and unboxings and all those wonderful things you will get. And if you do that and you contribute, then even if you don't, everybody has the right to ask me to do a review on such and such a knife, and you know, hoping it's not one of those really expensive knives that are a few £1,000s, then I'll try and get it. You know, if it's a 50-60 quid Kershaw or Spyderco or whatever, or Benchmade, I'll, you know, try and get it. So anyway, that's that part of my channel as well that I'm integrating, but I'll only mention it once because obviously that hasn't been my my goal at the start. It hasn't been my initiative, because I would have done that right at the start. I haven't. I've just carried on, but it's only since doing it I've thought, well, hang on a minute, you know, I've done nearly 400 videos. Some of those videos people must have thought quite helpful, quite useful, and I've had feedback from people that have, and I've never had another way other than people taking their time out to tell me that's been helpful, to do that. So if you haven't got the time to do that, but you put your PayPal details in, then that might be quicker than you just typing me a message. That's all I'm going to say on that. Anyway, hope you have enjoyed this review and my ramblings and things. I'll be doing a knife versus video, or a cheap versus pricey next week, but then I'll try and do a knife review the week after. But I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope it's been a bit of a change from a norm. I know it's another Spyderco. I'll try different knives next time. But thanks ever so much for joining me. Thanks for watching. Take care.